Did you hear that sound the toilet just made? Is your toilet making that sound too? I bet that's why you're here. Is your toilet making that flushing sound periodically throughout the day? Does it sound like it's constantly running, like it keeps wanting to flush itself? Well, if that's the case, today we're going to show you exactly how to diagnose that and how to fix it. We're going to show you what causes it. And believe it or not, it's actually the cheapest fix and one of the easiest fixes you'll ever do in your house. So we're going to show you how to do that, and it all starts right now. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do here is open up the back of the toilet here and put the lid away someplace safe. And we're going to show you the inside of the toilet tank here and what's causing this. Okay, so we're looking down here into the tank, and I want to show you what normally happens. See, normally your tank is holding water here, and it holds it in a pretty stable manner there, and so your toilet shouldn't make a single sound all day long. If you hear any sound or noises coming out of this toilet, then you need to start looking at what's going on, and it usually means water's leaking out. So what happens is that flapper down at the bottom, see that big round thing that looks like the top of the old Starship Enterprise there? That's your flapper, and that's what seals the bottom of the flush valve there so that the water stays in the tank. But what happens is, you see how it's supposed to seal around and just kind of hold it tight there? Over time, it either collects up sediment or slime or calcium, or they even warp a little bit. Even though you can't see it, but microscopically, it's losing water right now. This one is definitely losing water. And so normally when you flush the toilet, I'll show you, see how it lifts up and the water gets out? Now, I don't like the fact that that thing's waving. You see how it gets wavy right there? I don't like that fact. But anyway, when it comes back down, it'll seal against the bottom there, and the tank will fill up with water. And so as the tank is filling up here, there's a float right here on the fill valve, this black float. You'll see when the water hits it, that float will start to rise a little bit. And when it gets up to a certain point, it triggers the turn-off mechanism, which tells the toilet to stop. So watch the float. We'll see if it rises up a little bit here. Yeah, see, did you see it push up there? Now it pushed all the way up, and then boom, that cuts the water off. So it tells the water to stop filling in. So now we're done. The problem is you think you flushed the toilet, and what's happening now is the water is slowly leaking out through that flapper at the bottom, and we just need to replace it. It's a pretty inexpensive part. Okay, and even though you don't see it, and you may or may not hear it, sometimes you might hear a little bit of gushing and gurgling. Sometimes you might hear the toilet trying to flush itself every 10 minutes or so, every 15 minutes. That's usually the sign that there's something wrong, and it means you're really wasting water at that point, and your water bill is going to go up. So you need to really get rid of that flapper. Plus, it's annoying as heck. And like in this particular toilet here in our friend's house, this flapper here, it's causing it every 10 minutes to try to flush itself. So we have to put an end to that. Okay, so now you can see here how the water level is down about an inch from where it was at the top, at the peak there. And that's because it's leaking out through that bottom of the flapper there. But you can see at the beginning when I first showed you, the water level was here at the top of the 4. It wasn't even clearing below the point of the top of the 4. Now it's already ready to clear below those numbers there. So it looks like by the time this thing kicks in, we're going to be losing about a quart of water. So probably any second now you're going to see this float here that's on in the fill valve here. This is going to get down too low because of the water level, and it's going to trigger the fill valve to turn on the water and fill this thing back up. And it does a pretty good job. It fills it up pretty quickly. You'll see it here when it happens. But just watch how fast this water level rises. Okay, so just watch where the bottom here, see? Just watch where the level of the water is right now there compared to those numbers. And when this thing kicks in and fills it up with water here, you'll see how quickly it rises up. Sometimes if you watch closely, you can actually see the water line moving and dropping down there. So that's how much water is escaping out of the bottom there through that flapper. See, here it goes. So it quickly gushed in a whole bunch of water there, drove the level back up there above the numbers, and that's the vicious cycle that runs all day long. Okay, now when you go to the big box stores to buy your flapper, there it goes again, huh? Perfect timing. When you go to buy your flapper, you want to make sure you're buying the right size. So there's usually a bigger one or a smaller one. Ours here is the bigger one, because I believe we have a 3-inch flush valve. I have to just take a quick measurement to make sure. And so sometimes they have these smaller ones, and they'll all say universal, but you really want to make sure, because I'm skeptical that this smaller one would actually fit and work in that big opening there. So your best bet is to take off the old flapper and bring it with you to the hardware store, so you make sure you're getting the correct size. Okay, so now that the water's off, I go ahead and flush it. I try to get as much of the water out of there as possible so that there's not hardly anything in there. And now you can see it's not going to fill back up because the water's turned off. Okay, so now that the water is out, you just lift up the side arms. See how they just pull right up and go around that little feature there? And then you also have to pull it off of the arm here, the flushing arm. Okay, so there's the old flapper. And you can see what I don't like about it. See how it's all wavy and stuff? That's not normal. It's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to be nice and flat. So that's probably our problem, because everything else down in there looks pretty clean. So let's get the new one installed. Now I think it is so beneficial for you to know how big your flush valve is. So in this case here, this is 3 inches. So here in the store, sometimes you'll find your own brand. So if you have a Kohler toilet, for example, you can get your own brand's flapper as well. So here's, remember I told you, here's the 3-inch one here. And here's another one that's a little bit smaller. So here you can see the whole shelf full here at Home Depot. Sometimes you can also get them in a kit that also has the fill valve in it as well. So here you can see on top of the toilet, here's the one we just pulled out. Here's the new one. Do you see the difference in how they look? And plus, this looks like a really cheap flapper too. And it's probably about as thick, I don't know, but look how rigid this is. That's the way it's supposed to look. So that's what happens. They lose shape over time, and they start microscopically losing water. And the more out of shape they get, the more water you can lose. I mean, you could be to the point where your toilet is completely, totally running all day long. Okay, so now we're going to install the new flapper. And by the way, if this is your first time here at the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, man, what are you waiting for? Because we have so many videos and so many categories, world-class renovations of your houses, your kitchens, your bathrooms. We do floor tiling, wood flooring. We cover everything, including disasters and repairs like this here. And so make sure you click on that subscribe button down below and then hit the bell icon next to it. That way you'll be alerted every time we upload a new video. So as we put this arm on, you can see what it does. It's supposed to, if I can get around it with my other arm here, it's supposed to hook around. I'll set it there for you so you can see. It hooks around the top of that hook and then snaps right in place. See? So now the new flapper is now seated. And we just simply hook it back up to the flush arm here. Alright, so if you look closely at the chain, what I just did, I moved the hook down the chain a little bit so that it removed about 2 inches of the height of the chain total. So I'm going to hook it back up. So it's on there now. So now when I flush it, you can see it pulls it way higher than it did a minute ago. See that? It comes up a lot higher. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the water back on. Okay, now before I turn on the water, I wanted to point something out here to you. So this is funny here because see, this is a shark bite shut-off valve here. Now the funny thing is whoever put this on here left that, see that orange clip on there? That's the shark bite removal tool. That's a pretty bad idea to leave that on there. If a kid or somebody comes in here and plays with it and moves this plastic piece forward and pinches it, it will disengage the shark bite, and it could pop right off of the end of this pipe here, and you'll have 60 psi of water just gushing all over the place here in this bathroom. So that was kind of a strange thing I wanted to point out to you. Shark bites are okay. I particularly don't like to have a shark bite as a shut-off for this reason. See how it moves around like this? It keeps you from being able to one-handedly turn on and turn off the water. I can probably do it, yeah, see. I have to use two hands now. I have to hold the hose and at the same time turn the water back on. See? Then while the water is coming back on in the tank there, take a look at all of that corrosion and stuff that's around there. Now keep in mind, this is a powder room. This is a small half bath that doesn't even have a bathtub or a shower in it, and look how much humidity this bathroom has seen. There must have been some kind of leaks or drips in here in the past. See? So sometimes you can tell a lot about a house's history and what's been going on just by looking at the hardware. Okay, so now that the water's filled back up, let's see if it flushes okay. So this is one of those energy efficient 1.28 gallon per flush toilets here, so you can see how quickly it fills right back up. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see over the next hour or so. You just want to monitor it and make sure that it doesn't make any noises. But you hear that quiet? That's what your toilet is supposed to be all day long. Make sure that you don't hear any sound. Okay, so I wrote here some calculations here. So if we're doing with this particular failure mode, with this toilet trying to flush itself all day long, non-stop, you have 1 quart every 10 minutes that you're losing. That's how much water you're wasting. That's 6 quarts every hour. That's 144 quarts every day. And that translates to 36 gallons a day of water that you're wasting here. And then over the course of a month, you're losing 1,080 gallons each month. Now just think, some people have multiple toilets in their house that are doing this. There's thousands and thousands of people across the United States right now with toilets that are periodically running, periodically flushing themselves all day, or they won't stop running. So you have lots of people with toilets that won't stop running, and they're all wasting either this amount or much, much more. This is on the lighter side. Most of these failures that I come to help people out, where I see that they've got their flapper leaking and the toilet keeps running by itself, they are often, it's almost continuous for some people. It just runs almost all day long. Or I've seen the case where it runs every minute, and which is, yeah, I can't even calculate how much water they're wasting there. That's why it's so important that once you start hearing your toilet making these noises here, you got to get in there and fix that. And it's, you saw what it was. It's a $5 flapper, and you can do the change yourself in 5 minutes. Anybody could do it. Heck, it's so easy, a caveman could do it. Well, I hope this repair helps you solve your problem, and if this helped you out, go ahead and smash that like button down below there. Lets us know you like us. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. We'll answer them for you. And remember to subscribe. Click on that subscribe button down below and click the gray icon next to it. That way you'll be alerted every single time we upload a video. And make sure you come back and binge watch all of our other uploaded videos. You will find plenty of videos there that I'm sure will help you fix many issues around your house. That's it for this time, folks. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.